No, I think you're absolutely right. I've been in Washington 43 years. The greatest thrills are not winning lawsuits. It's being out there and arguing for the highest principles that animated our founding fathers and doing justice to those who have sacrificed so much before so that we can live free and to have freedom of press, freedom of speech, freedom of inquiry. And that's just got to burn in you. And it never goes away. It's not like you get to a stage of retirement where you no longer are involved with fighting for liberty. The great thing about the quest is that it never ends. Right up to your last dying breath, it'll still be stimulating you, giving you that kind of adrenaline to keep you active and participatory every day of your whole life.
And it's that instinct that we owe all civilization and creativity and everything good. It has all flowed from that instinct for liberty and freedom, that drive.
Yeah. The very first person who stood up and said slavery and subservience is bad. We all owe great homage to that individual, even if it didn't succeed on that particular day. And you're right, it's the torch of civilization that we're trying to keep alive here. Now, with regard to, my last book was American Empire Before the Fall. I think it expands upon all the ideas that we've discussed today, Alex. I am involved in another book. It's going to compare the motivations of the human species compared to the lower species, and to try to compare and contrast and suggest, is it clear which is the superior animal, and where we've got to restore, the ultimate, the values that have been the guiding light.
That's right. The globalists always want to tell us that we're not special because they know we are. We can direct our own development. Give us 60 seconds on your view on that.
No, absolutely, we can, and this is what I'm suggesting. We have minds, we have brains, and the brains are to try to extract what Lincoln called the better angels of our nature by imitation, by leadership, by character, so that and recognizing and living really for the ages, not necessarily physically, but so our character will speak to someone born 1,000 years from time.
Yes,
because they will struggle for those same reasons. Why are we here between ashes to ashes and dust to dust? What is virtue or not? And in that sense, our lives are eternal. That's what we have to strive for.
Well, that's how you live on, is by transmitting that information. It's not arrogance that you want your ideas and information to be passed on. You're passing the baton as well from those that came before you. It is love of the species. It's a love letter to the future. It is truly how we live forever, not just through our progeny, but through our ideas. And more, this great foundational truth, Bruce, is being echoed by people. It's not until tyranny comes in like a flood, to quote the Bible, that the Spirit of the Lord lifts up a standard against it. And you and Ron Paul or others, and just briefly getting back to Ron Paul before we let you go, look at how 4 years ago he ran. He's probably gotten 5, 6, 7 times the attention, the energy this time. Yeah. Then when he didn't win, the establishment said, oh, look, all that wasted. No, he had built a platform. Now look how far he's getting. And he may not this time. He actually may. But it may be Rand or somebody else down the road. It's that focal point. Look at how 20 years ago he couldn't get one co-sponsor, or 16 years ago when he first got back in Congress, 17 years ago, he couldn't get one co-sponsor. Now he passed audit the Fed in the House, and he didn't win this time. But resistance is victory. The system is scared. We've got moles inside Bilderberg, Bruce, and they are scared of Ron Paul. Why? Because it's now the hottest thing on campus. It's not mainline republicanism or communism. It's now liberty. They're scared. They see the youth, and not the ones playing Xbox that don't care, but the real youth that are going to be the 5–10% are now, their brains are lighting up for liberty, and that scares the system. Yeah,
no, that's exactly right. And it's in a different context, Alex, I don't want to overstate the analogy, but if we look right now in the White House, we have someone in the White House who's black, but he's really there because people 40 or 50 years, and I was involved in the civil rights movement as well, were working. They aren't in the White House, and I don't think he really understands what was necessary in order to prevail him there. It is a different issue with regard to race, but we're talking about basically the same thing. And what's so magnificent about Ron Paul is that he doesn't care. If he's not the one who occupies the White House and someone else stands on his shoulders and gets in the Oval Office, he'll clap. He'll be the first one to clap, even though he's the one, by all merit and justice, who ought to be there. And that is the earmark of someone who's truly great. It's statesmanship's finest hour when you have someone like Ron Paul.
Well, we can't overstate it. In final conclusion, he is founding father material. If Ron Paul could be teleported back 235, 240 years ago, would he not be, amongst the greats there?
Absolutely. And of all those running for office, he's the only one who had been given an invitation to enter the Constitutional Convention of 1787 in Philadelphia. All the others would have been given no vacancy or eviction notice.
Beautiful. Bruce Fein, you're doing a great... So how are you advising the campaign? Just on constitutional issues?
Well, I'm senior policy advisor. You can imagine it's rather hectic. The travel campaign is very, very hectic. So write op-eds, speak on shows like this, and give guidance there. I think we think in such automatic same furrows, we don't really have to talk to know exactly what kind of approach to take on this. And that's, the great thing about Ron. I don't have to memorize, well, what was he yesterday before today? Like all the other candidates, you never know. you're expressing their viewpoint with the human weather vane has changed. So it's really a delight for working with Ron and his team there. I think everybody is really devoted, and none of the self-aggrandizement or pettiness. So it's going to be one of my memories for life, whether we ultimately win or lose.
What can we do more than anything to help the campaign? A lot of people don't know about trying to be involved in the party caucuses. They don't know about being delegates. They don't understand that right now every little thing they do is going to have a huge effect. The system has been trying to black him out and give him 89 seconds in a debate because they're scared. Yeah.
Well, the best thing to do is write letters to the media saying, why are you blacking out Ron Paul? He should get same prominence commensurate with his popularity as others. And also, again, talk to friends and find out what the rules are in your particular state. Every state has different ground rules for whether it's caucus or primary about how you come out, how you vote, how you can make certain that your voice is heard at the primary state. So master that so you know exactly when, where, and how, and encourage all of your friends to show up. But you're exactly right, Alex. Where a whole lot of penetration can be made is the young people because they haven't been co-opted into the military-industrial complex yet. And they're the ones who can make a huge difference in the primary stage by turning out. They've got a lot of kinetic energy. And they're really the ones who have, in some sense, the most at stake because unless this trajectory changes and the way that Ron Paul is pointing towards, they will inherit if it's not a total tyranny, it'll be a semi-tyranny. And they have very, very difficult time extricating themselves. So if they want to enjoy the liberties they got now, they may have to focus themselves on this particular presidential race.
And some are listening right now who won't take it to heart, but the seed is planted, and as things get worse, they'll remember. Bruce Fein, incredible interview, Godspeed, and I'm glad Ron Paul's got you in there as being the senior policy advisor. He couldn't have found somebody better. Thank you so much.
All right, thanks. Good day.
Thank you. All right, there goes Bruce Fein. Very, very exciting to hear that. And, of course, he's going to get attacked a lot and everything, a lot of disinformation and stuff because the system is scared to death of what's happening. But Bruce Fein definitely burns with a desire for liberty, and that's very exciting. Okay, I'm going to come back. I've already pretty much gotten into Iran, but I'm going to hit that. Obviously, do some overdrive for all the folks that are holding, the military people that are holding. Very powerful broadcast today. The websites are Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.tv. Nightly news is tonight at 7, by the way, 7 Central. If you believe in this information and want to support its viral spread, go to the InfoWars store at Infowars.com. We've got the new G.I. Joe InfoWars t-shirts. We've got the incredible Pro Pure gravity-fed filters available at Infowars.com in the store. We've got a new DVD, Scientists Under Attack, the Don't Tread on Me flag. We've got all sorts of different bumper stickers to help spread the rebellion virally. It's all there, wristbands, citizen rule books in every order. Order online at Infowars.com today. The water filters, the canteens, it's all there. Infowars.com.